What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Nightwing issue number 138. So I'm back after my little vacation or whatever I went on, so I'm finally back into town. It was a pretty fun time, but now it's time to catch up on some comic book videos. So I got a lot to do, so I'm just gonna get this Nightwing one out today, and then hopefully like tomorrow and into Friday I'll be all caught up with every single comic book that I'm behind on. I think I got like 6 or something like that, so we'll be talking about those ones soon. And I got some other videos planned as well, so look forward to all that stuff. But anyways, this issue was written by Dan Waters and the artwork was done by Dennis Cowan. And we open up the issue with some farmer like in Blüdhaven, and like kind of outside the main city limits. A lot of this also has to tie into the construction of that, you know, new superhighway. And some carnivorous creature is like kind of killing like livestock, and he kind of shoots at it and then just kind of like ends up scratched and scarred and everything. Dick is also dealing with the fallout of the whole highway accident thing and the Blüdhaven witch. He's also getting calls from Babs in prison because Barbara Gordon went to prison. And the most recent issue of the main Batman title, well, the one Bang Batman title, we also just got today the release of, I guess, the final part of the 2016 era Batman things with the whole Hush 2 thing, which I don't think should have been a part of the main. It should have been its own separate like mini series or whatever. Having it in the main title has just really kind of thrown things off. But I will be covering that at some point soon. I completely forgot about what happened in the Hush book. So, but we're at a new #1 under Fraction, so we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, so basically, because Nightwing's a hero and all that, he's kind of being called out like, hey, why don't you come clear your name, Nightwing, considering you were like at the scene of the crime. There's a lot of mistrust with him within the city. He's not sleeping very well. He's going a little bit paranoid, especially because he feels responsible given this whole Blüdhaven witch thing. And then he goes and talks to that farmer thinking, okay, maybe this has some ties to this witch because some really weird, bizarre stuff's going on. But it turns out, after doing some digging, there's some alien DNA, and I'm thinking, this isn't like the witch. Is this a whole separate thing? Which it is. That's when Starfire shows up. Now, I was kind of hoping that we would get like a Nightwing and Raven team up, but of course it's going to be Starfire in that too. They do kind of have like an interesting dynamic right here going on, and she's kind of concerned for how Dick's been acting, and he mentions the whole like thing being like alien scions, which are things that tortured her in the past, and they get into a bit of a scuffle, and she kind of tortures this thing alive. They find the ship, which had been basically like awakened as a result of them kind of like tangling with the brush in the highway, and it was basically like a dead vessel. They go and open it, and it's just something talking about Coriander being a threat, and she destroys the whole thing because it's just some like ghost like memory of sorts. So we got that going on there. You know, Dick and her have a conversation right there about, you know, stuff and how he's kind of not in the best place right now. You know, everything's kind of going wrong for him. This isn't the Tom Taylor run with like a lot of fluff and, hey, I got all this money, hey, I got all this stuff, everything's so like, you know, fine and dandy. No, this is life for Nightwing right now is not exactly the best. For one thing, his girl Babs is in prison right now, and he doesn't like that whole thing, but this is all kind of part of her plan. I guess I maybe should check out some stuff on the Barbara Gordon breakout thing. Maybe I'll just kind of wait for that to drop on the DC Infinite app. You know, Starfire's concerned about him, but, you know, she kind of goes her own way. It did seem like they were going to have them maybe kiss based on a few of these panels, but thankfully we're not getting some of that stupid cheating, love triangle nonsense. Get that crap out of here. We don't need it. I do like Corey's maturity in this thing as well. And then basically the issue ends with the Blüdhaven witch who's been kind of walking around. Somebody kind of is like, hey, you need a ride? I know what you are. I know what you seek. You are the witch of Blüdhaven, and I can help you. So some mysterious figure kind of has her like go into like, yeah, his car. So I don't know what's going on there. What's the mystery? How does that all unfold? But I will say that I did enjoy this particular issue of Nightwing. It went in some surprising directions. So I saw that monster at the beginning. I'm thinking, oh, this is that whole Blüdhaven witch thing. But no, it's like an alien that had crash landed in Blüdhaven. And as a result of this whole superhighway being built, a lot of the cities, you know, like older mysteries are kind of coming out into the forefront right now. So a lot of like bad things, like some supernaturals, some extraterrestrials, all sorts of crazy things are happening as a result of like it being disturbed to build this highway, which has been nothing but problems for the city ever since it was basically opened up there. So for some of the farmers and some of the people involved, it's just something that they didn't need. I have a strong feeling that probably by the end of this story arc that Dan Waters is trying to do, they're just going to go ahead and destroy that entire highway or something and try and put the city back to where it was before, because it's just not really like working for anyone. But yeah, so some interesting stuff so far in this arc right here. I like that we're getting kind of standalone stories in some ways, but little pieces that kind of add to the overall narrative. I think that's what's making it kind of interesting. And I genuinely didn't expect Starfire to show up in this thing. I thought with the whole supernatural thing, and when somebody's getting ready to show up, I'm like, oh, it's going to be Raven, which is what I was hoping for, but we got Starfire instead. Poor Raven, she can't go and appear in any other book. Maybe it's like she's contractually like forced to be in like, you know, books like with Gar. Like she can't just show up on her own in like another book. She has to be in a Titans book with like Beast Boy or something. So like, you know, she can't go and appear in other things. So, I mean, like I said, this is a story that made sense for Starfire to be there, given the whole alien thing and, you know, her background and all that too. But I was just assuming it was going to be Raven, because I remember seeing something about solicitations. Oh, witch, supernatural. Who do you call the Titans that you're friends with? Raven. Oh, I guess not. Maybe she'll show up in something else, or maybe they'll throw on like a Zatanna or Constantine or something. Because if you're dealing with a supernatural, you need some of the experts on it. And I kind of was hoping we get Raven in this thing, but I don't know if Dan Waters will end up writing her. So, but one can hope we can get something like that at some point. But again, it made sense for Corey to be in this storyline, given it ended up being like something like extraterrestrial and, you know, links to her past and everything right there too. So, and I liked her maturity in this issue in that too. So, and yeah, and I'm glad we didn't get some of the cheating nonsense, because I'm so tired of that in a lot of these storylines. But anyways, overall, I did like this issue. I liked the artwork as well. I thought it was really strong, and I liked how Starfire was drawn in the style. She looks great, and you kind of had some of that like kind of more menacing like side of her right there too, which is also stuff I thought was kind of cool. The way she's like, oh yeah, I've gotten over all this stuff. But then she just torches the alien and then just destroys like the whole thing like in an instant, which almost kind of conflicts with Dick. He's like, well, maybe we could have done something to help something like that, because it was just like an animal. But she's like, no, it's been gone. This is like a memory of that in the past. So a little bit of a tension kind of between the two in that regards, a little bit of a conflict in a way. And I thought that was kind of interesting as well. But yeah, overall, like this thing. Curious about who the guy who picks up the Witch of Blüdhaven is at the end of it. And it should be fun to see the storyline unfold. So yeah, kudos to the storyline. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. I'll be back with more videos tomorrow, but in the meantime, I just want to kind of get this one out there. And yeah, should be fun. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.